Hey guys, welcome to Realistic Crypto and part 3 in my DCA backtesting series. In the first video, we took you through how to take all of the coins that you want to backtest against on the exchange that you want to backtest against and get them into a watch list. That makes the backtesting process far more efficient. Part 2 covered how to backtest settings and find profitable settings using the backtesting indicators and strategies. And then part 3 is looking at how you can then take those settings that you've found and then create them in your trading platform. Now, links to both of those, to part 1 and part 2, are in the description below. There will likely be more parts as we discover more tools, techniques, indicator strategies that make this process far more simple. But for right now, the links to part 1 and 2 are in the description below. So, part 3, this focuses, like I mentioned before, on how to set this up on your trading platform. And we're going to look at 2 trading platforms. We're going to look at 3Commas and we're going to look at Mizar. Now, the first part of this video is going to really focus on the easy, straightforward way to set these up. But there are some limitations around that, which then means that you then have to integrate TradingView with 3Commas and Mizar to get the deal start conditions working and potentially the take profit conditions working as well. So what we'll do is we'll take a quick look at the easy way, then we'll move on to the I wouldn't say it's complicated, but the one that requires just a little bit more effort and also potentially a paid TradingView subscription. So let's start very quickly with with 3Commas, the simple way to do this. So in 3Commas, you want to head over here, you want to click the little plus button. What that's going to do is it may pop up a screen that asks you if you want a smart bot, a wizard, or an advanced bot. Choose advanced. Once you're in there, give it a name, choose your pair, choose your exchange. Now, when I mentioned there are some limitations, there are 2 limitations in trading in 3Commas, that come to mind. First of all, in the previous videos, we looked at a number of settings that exist in this all-in-one indicator. This filter, activate BTC and DXY filters. If you are using that to get your backtesting data, then what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to use the other way. You can't use this simple way. If you're using all of the rest, then in the main part you'll be fine, and we'll look at why in the main part in a minute. But if you're trading on Binance, if you're trading on Bybit, then there's no limitations if you're not using that filter. As an example, when you want to come down and choose your deal start condition, you can choose any of the settings that exist in that all-in-one indicator. And for example, if we look, we've got the TA presets, we've got MFI, CCI, Parabol XR, etc. Now, if you're using KuCoin, those same options do not exist. So you only have the option to use the TradingView preset, which is where you get a buy or a strong buy signal. And then equally, in the take profit condition, if you're using that in the all-in-one indicator in the send-off backtester, you only have the option for the TradingView take profit conditions. Now, if you've found other settings and you're using an exchange that doesn't support the deal start and take profit conditions, then you'll want to skip further down this video to see the other way of setting these up. But what we're going to do in the meantime is we're just going to head back to Binance and we're just going to take a quick look at deal start conditions. We've already looked at these. You can add in whichever ones of these that you want. The strategy is reflective of the strategy that you want to set, whether it's long or short, or whether you want to take profit in USDT or ETH, etc. And if we scroll further down, you've got the option to either take profit in percent or the deal conditions that are in the all-in-one indicator. You can make a choice there based on the settings that you've found in your backtesting. Again, safety order settings are reflective of the Zendo backtester. There are some advanced settings around whether you want to start a deal if there's less than X daily volume, That's in BTC, by the way, so there's some conversion needed there. It's not in USDT. And there's other options in here as well. So as an example, do you want a cooldown between deals? So actually, if you're running this bot and you want a 3-day cooldown, as an example, you'll want to convert that into seconds and put that in here. Now that doesn't exist in the backtester. So if you create this option, then your backtesting results are likely not to be accurate. Now, close deal after timeout, we've looked at that in the indicator in part 2. And you can select that there and choose the amount of hours, minutes, or days to close out the deals. Now that's the easy way in 3Commas. What we'll do is we'll take a quick look at the easy way in Mizar. So if you go in, choose DCA bots, create new bot, we'll do that just to show that. Then what you've got is you've got some options in here to start a deal. Now, these are different to what exists in 3Commas, and again, there's limitations because not all of the settings that are available in the all-in-one indicator are available in here too. And we'll take a quick look at that. So as an example, TradingView indicators, we've got the TradingView rating, so that is in the all-in-one indicator, and we have the RSI 7 or 14 because you can change the length of the RSI. Now both of these exist in the all-in-one, so if you're using those conditions, you don't need to integrate TradingView and Mizar. You can do this directly within Mizar itself. And again, all of the other settings are the same. So again, base order size and safety order size, they're all just in different places. Take profit, order settings, etc. Position timeout, that's the close the deal after X amount of days, hours, or minutes. So that's the easy way. Now, the slightly more time-consuming way, it's not difficult, it's not advanced, it's relatively straightforward. But the other way of doing this is to use the webhook functionality within TradingView. Now, the challenge is that if you do not have a TradingView subscription, then you only get one alert for free. And then additionally, if you upgrade to Pro, you only get 20, Pro plus 100, and Premium, you get 400. Now, you really need to consider, before you make a decision around this, how many bots you want to create, and whether you only need to create a deal start alert or a deal end alert as well, or maybe even a safety order alert, because that's an individual alert for each pair. So you may say, if we were to trade Trias USDT, we may do a deal open alert, we may do a safety order alert if we've chose to do that against an indicator in the backtester, and we may choose an end deal alert. That means I'm using 3. If I'm using 3, the maximum number of bots that I'm going to be able to get on Pro, or the maximum number of pairs I'm going to be able to trade, is going to be 6 pairs. So 6 3s are 18, and therefore I'll be left with 2 alerts that I can't set up another deal. Similarly, if you're only using 1, you can open 20 deals, and if you're using 2, you can open 10. So it is all reflective, so understand before you choose a subscription, if you choose a subscription, which one is best for you. Now, the other tip that I'd have on this is that TradingView often runs a 60-70% off promotion. Now, I've never paid full price for Premium. I always get it at 60-70% off, Black Friday, etc. So my other suggestion would be don't buy it at full price. Take the opportunity to find settings that you can match directly on one of the trading platforms that we've just looked at, or any other trading platforms that matter, and use the free conditions until subscriptions are on sale. And when they're on sale, then look to take the plunge. don't pay full price because there's plenty of good deals out there when the time comes. Now, I have left a link to TradingView in the description below. There is some incentive for using that link. That incentive does change and will change based on whether I become a partner or not become a partner, etc. But there is a link in the description below if you choose to sign up. So with that said, let's go take a look at the alternative way we can use to set up the bots. So first of all, we'll take a look at 3Commas, then we'll take a look at Mizar. So in 3Commas, your deal start condition, you want to select TradingView custom signal. Now what that's going to do is that's going to remove everything else, and it's going to give you a link to these custom signal instructions. And if we click on those, what that's going to do is that's going to take me to some instructions to set that up. Now don't worry about these, we're going to take a quick look at that on TradingView now. But what we have here is we have all the same settings. We set the deal start condition to TradingView custom signal. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hit start. What that's going to do is that's going to create the bot. Once the bot's created, you want to scroll down and you want to look for these message for deal start signal. Now where we've got this, you get this code, and you want to copy that. You can copy that just by clicking on that, and then you want to head over to TradingView. So say for example you've set your settings here in the all-in-one indicator. You're happy, you've got your backtesting results. What you want to do is you want to click these three little dots. You want to add an alert on the 3Commas indicator. You want to make sure that you've got a buy if you've got buy conditions, or sell if you've got sell conditions. And then you want to choose once per bar close. Now you can name this alert anything that you want. And the message, you want to paste that message that we've just copied to the clipboard. So let's just paste that and remove the leading spaces. Now, once you've got this message, you want to head across to notifications, and you want to tick webhook URL. Now this in here, you can find this URL if you scroll down in the article. I'll paste this URL in the description below as well. You want to take this, the enable webhooks, you want to copy that, and you want to paste that in there. Now, once that's done, what you will then have is the create button. You hit create. What that's going to do is it's going to create an alert in your alert section in TradingView. I've got lots of alerts set up, but it's going to create an alert in there. And every time there's a buy signal, it's going to trigger this message to that URL. And what that's going to do in turn is it's going to tell this bot to open a deal. Now, as I mentioned before, you may want to manage a percentage amount within the bot itself, and therefore you don't need a deal close condition from 3Commas, from TradingView, because you might manage it all within the bot. However, if you need to use the take profit conditions in the 3Commas all-in-one, you need to set up another alert. This time you want to choose the sell once per bar close, but this time you need a different message. This time you need the message to close order at market price. Get that message, paste that into this box, and make sure that you've got the right webhook URL and click create. That's done. And again, every time it's a deal sell condition, if there's a deal open on that bot, it will close the deal. So that's 3Commas. Let's take a quick look at Mizar. So once you've created a bot, what we're going to do is we're going to look at bot I've already created. Let's do that very quickly. Let's have a look at this one. You're going to create your bot with the option here of the TradingView webhook API. Enter all of your settings as normal, and then click the create bot button. Once you've got your DCA bot, you want to go over there you want to click View Settings. And once you're in here, what you'll see is when you scroll down TradingView webhook. Now, the URL that we want to use is this one. So if we just take a look, add an alert, notifications, you want to change this to be this URL, Mizar. Now to open a position, you want to use this, this message here. And let's just head back. What we also need to do is we need to define a few things in this message. So first of all, what we need to do is we need to create an API key. Now to do that, you can click here and you want to call your API, whatever you want, API key, whatever you want to call it. Let's call it TV test. We'll delete this afterwards. Click generate API, and what we'll find that we've got TV test API key here. We want to copy that out, and we want to put that into this section here. The next thing that we want to do is we want to create the pair that we want to trade. So in this instance, we want trias in there and we want USDT in there. That message is done. Make sure that there's no spaces. That will prevent deals from opening. And then once that's done, you want to hit create. Now it's useful to take a copy of that message, particularly if you're using a multi-pair bot. You take a copy of that message, you can go paste it into all of your other deal start condition alerts and just change the base asset rather than having to add the quote asset and the API key every single time. Again, if you want to create a sell signal, you want to head over to, you want to go back and look at close a position. So when you choose close a position, the only difference in here is the fact that the action doesn't say open position, it says close position. Now you do have some other options as well, close all positions, stop bot and close all positions. You can create strategies around, if, for example, if BTC breaks below the 100 EMA, the 100-day EMA on the daily chart, then stop the bot and close all positions because I don't want to open any long deals as a result of that. And you could set an alert on the price crossing the EMA on BTC with this message, which would close out all of those trades at the current price and stop the bot from opening any of the trades. So there's other options to use beyond deal start and close position, and there's other options in 3Commas to use it as well. Now, once you've set up all of the alerts in TradingView, you've set those to once per bar close, which is the option in here. All you need to really do, depending on the level of plan you have, is manage the expiration. So because I've got the premium plan, I can just leave them open-ended. I don't need to go back in there and renew the alerts. But if you don't have the premium plan, I think in the other plans, you need to go in there every 2 weeks or a month or 3 months. I think the timings are to continue to extend those alerts. And that covers everything that you need to know to get your backtesting settings working in either 3Commas or Mizar. So like I said at the start of the video, there's going to be other parts to this. I initially thought it would be a three-part series. However, there are some other interesting opportunities, and I think that those are definitely things that I am planning to share. So it might be that this series gets extended. It might be that we record them as separate individual videos. But as we find more useful tips, tricks, and techniques, we'll create more content around that. So hopefully this has been really useful. If you did find it useful, please hit the like button. Please comment in the comments box below, and also subscribe if you are not already subscribed. But that's it for this video. So thank you very much, everybody, and goodbye.